Hey everyone, this is the first episode of MomCast. I basically decided to do this journey on starting a podcast about moms to share my journey as a mom so far and just give my tips and tricks along the way. For this very first episode, we're going to be talking about self-care. And with that, I thought what better way to bring on my good friend Terrance.
Hello guys,
as he has mental it. And I figured that we both figured it would be like the greatest combo.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, I do Mental It. So it's a project that I work on where I talk about mental health and well-being and self-care. So it kind of intertwined immediately with what Devin wanted to do. So we wanted to find a way where we could collaborate together. And so here we are.
So let's jump right in.
All right. So Devin.
Yes.
You're the mother of 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
Your first being Onyx. Now, tell us how it was. What did you feel when you okay, I'm getting ready to be a mom? Like, what did that feel? Did you feel like, I'm not ready for this? Do I want to have a baby? What were some of the thoughts that you were having about being a mom?
So when I was pregnant with Onyx, I was 23. I was in a new relationship, freshly in love, and I got pregnant. I was not ready. My pregnancy wasn't planned. However, I knew that I was having her. You know, I had the conversation with my spouse, and he was all for it. But ultimately, it was up to me. And if there's a mom out there watching today, and you're in those shoes, you know, you have the decision at the end of the day. Because I remember my mom even having a lot of insight about it, and my relatives, and you know, he wanted to have the baby, but I had to really think about what I wanted to do, and I wasn't ready, but I got ready, and I love her.
And what would you say some of the ways that you mentioned I got ready? So how did you get ready? Like, what were some of those practices? Like, do you remember what that was like?
Okay, so let's get into that. So it wasn't like, okay, I was pregnant and then I just got ready from there. I knew I was having her. So, but I did think like, okay, this maternal instinct will just kick in and I'll have all the answers. You know, I had a really good pregnancy that didn't happen. So I just lived and learned, and we grew together, to be really honest.
Wow. So, with having Onyx, when she came, what was that feeling like? How long were you in labor with her? What were some of the practices leading up to having her that you were doing to prep yourself?
Wow. So, with Onyx in particular, with Nova was a different story. Nova is my second daughter. With Onyx, I didn't do much to prepare for her outside of just getting her space ready, and I didn't do much. I didn't. Like, as I said, I thought, I'll become a mom, maternal instincts kick in, and I'll just have the answers. And that's not what happens. I mean, of course, I figured it out. But, so if you are pregnant now, I will say, do as much research as you can. Learn about different birthing methods. Learn about, you know, how many doctor's appointments you need to have, the different testings you need to have while pregnant. Learn about your rights as a mother. You know, you can keep the umbilical cord attached if you would like. You can request that at the hospital. Like, just because you're in the hospital's care and the doctor's taking care of you doesn't mean that they have all the rights and all of the answers. You have every right to have questions and to stand up for yourself. And I didn't learn that until my second daughter. But, so I know I'm like backtracking, but yeah, so I just wanted to give that to people.
Okay.
Because I don't think too many moms know that, especially...
I personally did not know you could keep the umbilical cord attached.
Yes!
So I'm learning as you guys are learning as well.
I literally have had doctors tell me like, oh, there's no use of this. So why do you guys decide to take it back and utilize it for stem cell research if there's no use for this? Because, you know, your umbilical cord is attached to the placenta.
Yes.
So that's the whole idea of keeping the umbilical cord attached to get the nutrients that's still flowing to your baby, you know. So there are people who do lotus births where they birth the baby, they birth the placenta, they keep the placenta attached, they never cut the umbilical cord, like, you know, up until due time, up until they decide to, or even up until it falls off, you know. Yeah, there are people who encapsulate their placentas to consume it. There's said to be nutritional value to it. I'm not a doctor, guys. I'm not a doctor.
Okay.
But I've done research, and do your research. It's your body. Like, you have the rights to your body, and do your research and do what's best for you ultimately.
So, this is going to come to questions to you guys. So, after giving birth, talk about this idea of not being prepared, not getting ready, not having any type of structure for what baby one was going to be like. You now give birth to baby one. Talk about some of the mental things that were going through your head.
So as I said, I thought things would snap and I would have the answers. I didn't. When that happened, I was totally taken back. I immediately felt not good enough. Like, literally when she came out, they gave her to me and her head kind of fell. Like, I didn't hold her head properly. I was so exhausted, and she was so slippery, and her head like fell, like, and I had to like readjust. In that moment, and she cried hysterically. In that moment, that very instance of just having her, I felt depleted. Like, I felt like I wasn't enough, and that I wasn't going to do the job right.
Of being a mom. And Onyx was colicky. She cries a lot. She wasn't an easy baby per se. So, you know, all of that definitely threw me for a loop. Why would you say that she wasn't necessarily an easy baby?
She just would cry a lot. I remember trying to breastfeed and latching being an issue. You know, things just didn't work how I thought. It wasn't like the books or the movies where the baby comes and you just love on them and they're quiet and you're the best mother, and it just wasn't giving that. It was just giving, this baby is crying, what to do? Can you change her pamper for me? She's so tiny. Like, it was just giving all kinds of things that I just did not expect. I couldn't even hold her. I could not hold her. Like, she was so small. I was so nervous to hold her. Literally, when we took her home, I had my cousin's fiance put her in the car seat for me. I was like, can you please put her in the car seat for me? I'm scared. I don't want anything to happen. I was just like overly anxious, like about every single thing. And I just didn't want to do anything wrong. And because I seen that this thing didn't snap and I was just super mom, that
drove you through the roof.
Literally.
So like, I'm not super mom and I don't know what I'm doing.
Literally.
And now I have to rely on people
literally
to, in a way, protect my child.
We got home,
I don't know
Terrance.
what to do.
I said, can you lay her down for me, please? Like, they're so fragile. This is like fragile little being in your care, and you have to take care of them, and you have to make sure they stay alive. Babies are so fragile.
Yes.
And so any little thing can happen. Like, you're thinking of all of that as a new mother, you know?
Right.
And this is, of course, not everyone's experience, but this was mine.
So, was that postpartum?
Shortly after, I fell into postpartum depression. Postpartum depression looks different for everyone. For me, it was me feeling like I was never good enough. I just felt like I was always timid. I was always on edge. I was super alone. I had support generally, but at home, it was literally just me, like me and this baby. And, you know, we're here now. She's 3. She's amazing. I figured it out. But in that time, like in that space, I was just super alone. I was super down. I would cry a lot. Yeah, like I had times when I would just cry. Like, I don't know what to do, you know? Like, I'm not saying that out loud, but I'm saying that in my head. And yeah, it was really tough for me.
Was the crying happening while she was crying, or just in the midst of calmness?
Literally, it would just come out. It would just come out. It would be like she would be sleeping, and then just these thoughts of, what am I going to do with this baby? Like, how am I gonna get through? How am I gonna get past this?
And that, I feel like, is probably the mental part of it, where it's like it's mentally exhausting.
Mentally, physically, emotionally exhausting.
And you don't know how to leave that part.
Yeah.
Because, again, like, giving life to someone, I mean, I don't know what that feels like, but I can only imagine it being like, this is it or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the moment when you were feeling like postpartum, you talk about feeling like you were the only one that was in the house and being with your child, and like, even though you had general support, as you put it, how was your partner responsive to those things that were happening to you? Was he aware of it at first, or was he just kind of going with things, and maybe you not communicating? Were you allowing yourself to be vulnerable and show that you were like dealing with that, or did you want to be, again, super mom?
I would say a little bit of both. So when I did share bits and pieces, I don't feel like it was taken in, or even just, I don't feel like the response was what I was seeking. And so with that, just giving a little, you didn't give me what I needed. So I fell back and I didn't give anything anymore. So I'm not sharing anymore. My vulnerability, I put a wall up, in a sense. Like, there was a lack of communication there with us in that time. That's another thing. Like, having a baby definitely just takes a toll on your relationship. Like, it shifts the dynamics. It goes from two people with each other to two people and this human, and you all have to, and create this new normal, really. And it took us a while to get to that place where we were just existing peacefully and happily and just communicating effectively. Like, it took us a while to get to that place.
And how long would you say, if you can remember how long it took you to get there? Because, again, you said you dealt with this depression for a couple months. So, I mean, Onyx is now 3. So, what would you say, like a year in, 2 years?
I would say maybe like a year and a half.
A year and a half?
And with that, I have another baby now. I have a 5-month-old baby, Nova, and we have to create another new normal with 2 kids. That's a whole new dynamic. So we got adjusted and acquainted with our family, and now we have this new addition. And they're small people, but they're people with personalities, and we have personalities, and we're all fire signs, me and the girls. Jabari's a water sign, just swimming, trying to swim his way through everything. No, I'm just playing. But we're still making it happen. I don't feel like we have like a blueprint to anything. We're just still making it work. We love on each other every day. We communicate every day. That's the important thing. We have open communication, and we work at that. That
was actually going to be my next question.
Okay,
it was something that you guys had to work on. That
definitely.
Yeah.
It was estranged at a point, like as if every relationship is. Ups and down. But we really got to a place where we were able to just sit down and really come to an understanding with one another about our expectations, about how we feel in the moment, and where we see our future. So we make a conscious effort to work towards that every day.
In that moment, having these conversations, you're having the conversation and you feel at ease, and then post-conversation, does it make you feel like, damn, I feel more empowered now? I feel like, okay, I can definitely do this, because A, I'm not in this alone. B, it's like now I have Dad present, and he's understanding where I'm coming from, what I dealt with, and knowing what my vices and virtues were. Did it make you feel like, damn, I feel like I can do this now? Like, or did it still, or does it come in waves?
It's the acknowledgement is appreciated. I got to a place though as a mother that with that or not, I was good. Had to get to a place mentally for myself, and that's with or without my spouse's support. He wound up getting on board, like we're good now, right? But it just so happened to fall into place that way. I had to make a conscious decision to be there for myself, to show up for myself every day so that I can show up for my girls.
Exactly. Setting that example from early on.
Yes.
And now you have baby too.
Mm-hmm.
How many months is she?
She's 5 months.
5 months.
Mm-hmm.
So now, given the experience that you had with Onyx, as we spoke just recently about, how are things different? Did you see similarities with Nova, or do you feel more prepped?
Super, like beyond more prepped. Like literally, it's like a whole weight is lifted off my shoulder. Like, I don't have all the answers, don't get me wrong. I don't have the answers. However, I knew what to expect. I knew what giving birth feels like. I know what going to labor feels like. I knew how to be on a schedule now. It's a world of a difference. Yes. I was super prepared. I almost feel bad sometimes. I'm like, Nova's just getting everything the proper way, but with me and Onyx, it was like trial and error. And now I have Nova, and it's like, okay.
But see, that's what happens when you're like doing something that you're not used to. It's like trial and error. It's always going to be like that. So I think preparation for baby 2 was probably great. Aside from the children, like yourself as a mom, as Devin, as like your own person, what are some of the ways and stuff that you do, like your morning mantras to prepare yourself for the day? Aside from being a mom, like what is something that you do to like uplift Devin?
I love the way you worded that, because I'm Devin. You know, oftentimes when you become a mother, you just become Onyx and Nova's mom, or whatever your baby's is mom, you know? You're you first. And that may not sound like what people want to hear. However, it is what it is. You have to take care of these babies, right? So as Devin, that was a process for me, mind you, to get out of just being mom and realizing I'm a person too. Like, I'm not just a mother, you know? We'll get into that on another episode. Okay?
Sounds great.
But for me, I came to this place where I have to do morning mantras, where I wake up, I set my alarm, I wake up, I have a glass of tea, a cup of tea, rather, whether peppermint tea, chamomile, or green tea. I then do my stretching. Yes, a little 15-minute stretch. I read a book for about...
Book of choice?
I go in between Oneness. I forget the author. It's a book called Oneness. And what's my other book? It's like a Discovery Channel book. I'm like a weirdo with like the planet and like animals and stuff. Okay. So I just go in between the two. But Oneness is all about how we're all one. So it kind of coincides. So I go in between those two books at the moment, but it really does, like, it could be a magazine. It could be like anything that you find that you want to spark something in you. You know, like inspiration. That's the word.
And what keeps you inspired?
What keeps me inspired? Really? So cliche, my babies. They keep me inspired. They do. They really do.
And so, with doing MomCast, right? So this is like your first episode, or your first pilot, I would say.
Yes.
Introducing the world to who Devin is as Devin, as a mom of 2, and basically sharing your story. So what do you really want people to take away from this entire experience? And why did you even want to start doing? I know you mentioned it a little bit in the beginning, but why did you really want to start doing MomCast? What's like, okay, this is the aha moment. I need to do it. Like something is brewing in me.
I've been wanting to do something of the sort since I was pregnant with Onyx. I realized I had a lot of pregnant friends at that time, and I realized we all didn't know a lot of things. You know, we were learning and growing together. And I wanted to do something of the sort since then, but I never had the...
Maybe like the willpower.
Yeah, definitely the willpower. I definitely need to.
Oh. You're giving tack.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Listen, this is real life, okay? Shit is not always perfect. Yeah, so I never went forward with it. I decided to do it now because I feel like I have more confidence to step out of my shell. I feel like I've been in this shell. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've been in this shell, and I just have more of a confidence now. I've been getting more in tune with my being. So I have more of a confidence to just branch out and to share my experience and to answer what I like people to take from it.
Yeah.
I'm a person who's like, hope for the best, but expect the unexpected. So I don't have expectations from this necessarily. I would just hope that I open up a forum for moms to watch, to comment, to come on the show, just create an atmosphere for mothers, about mothers, by mothers. The whole nine.
Okay, so with that being said, shit, I wasn't trying to thought, y'all. Fuck. With that being said, we wanted to create an atmosphere for moms. What is a message that, if, like, let's say 10 years down the line, maybe not even that long, but maybe 5 years down the line, right? Projecting, forecasting, if you could leave a message for your daughters to see, what would you say to them?
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, you got unexpected daughter.
I just said that. I gave that. I definitely gave that just now. I would say to them, in 5 years, they'll be so tiny still.
Yeah, but Onyx at that point will still be able to understand.
She'll be 8?
Yeah, so she can understand what you're saying.
Okay.
If she sees mommy on the camera.
So you're in elementary school right now. It's probably a new environment. What would I have to share with my young daughter at the time? How old will Nova be? 5? She'll also be starting elementary. Oh, that's so crazy to just think about. I'm sorry. I would say that you guys are awesome. Your mom loves you, of course. I'm your #1 fan. You can do anything that you want to do. Like, anything that you put your mind to, you can do. You both are just like boss babies for real. And stay true to yourself. Always be yourself. Protect your space and your energy. And you're my daughter, so, you know.
That's that one. So we talked about the takeaway for what people are going to be expecting with this MomCast. You're going to talk about, again, your experiences being a mom. You're going to talk about the well-being, all of the things that basically affected you as a person. I'm so happy to be a part of this journey. I'm so happy you asked me to be a part of this. I knew about it for quite some time, and I'm happy that we're just going forth with it. And I'm super excited to see what's going to happen, because I think it's going to be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you, and I want everyone to know how much of a cool, genuine person you are. Like, seriously.
Oh, thank you.
I always see her, like, we're texting nonstop, guys, by the way. And she's always doing mom things, and I'm just like, damn, she is so hands-on. I just love that so much about her, and I have so much respect. And, like, honestly, like, we grew up together. Like, we went to summer camp or whatever. I don't want to go on a tangent, but seeing her as a mom, it's like, you know, someone you grew up with, and it's like they're a mom now. It's like, what? You're a mom? But no, it's cool though, because like I get to see all the different layers of Devin, you know, like, and challenges. So I just want to say that I'm really, really, really happy for her.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
And I would like to add, you know, as people, we're ever evolving humans, you know, so don't put a limit on what you feel like you are or who you are. You know, you can be at a certain level today, and that's not where you have to stay. And, you know, as mothers, we're life givers, we're nurturers, we're the moms of the universe, you know, and we can really put just like the weight of the world on our shoulders. And you have to take time for yourself, you know, you have to put yourself first. So I will close with saying that self-care is the best care. If you're not right, no one's right. You're the matriarch of your family, you know, so keep that in mind. That's what I definitely want to give viewers, for my fellow moms out there. I want you guys to comment. I want you guys to reach out. I want you guys to share different topics you would like me to speak about. If you would like to come on the show, I'd love that. And yeah, I'm really excited about this and opening up this forum for mothers.
Yes, I'm excited. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. This is Terrance and Devin with MomCast. We out.
Wait, but my nails broken.
Oh.
I'm like, put the nails down.
Put the nails down. Put the clothes down, Devin.
Put them behind, please. Like, why would I even give nail when the nails are broken?
Why is she giving broken pedicure and manicure?